We are again. Okay, now it's going through to OBS. Yes, we did it. I fixed it. Audio is now working. So, Gyrinx, yeah, what were you
There.
sawing in the background there? Why are you doing some DIY work?
It wasn't me. It's there's some scaffolding and people working like right outside my window. Let me go close that window.
So, this week, I've the Beholder with, it's a suicide episode. It's a suicide murder mystery. And there's Genesis, which is awful.
Genesis.
Genesis is this season's, not Sub Rosa. Sub Rosa's amazing. This episode's Threshold. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
It's the Threshold of TNG. And, but we're gonna watch it. We're not skipping nothing. And Journey's End, which is problematic in some ways. But whatever.
Journey's End is
certainly
way worse than Threshold.
Journey's End has...
It's funny how season 7 it builds a relationship with Worf and Deanna, and then afterwards immediately or quite quickly reverts back to Riker.
I think
Well,
they break up off screen, right?
Yeah.
Orphan, yeah.
It's
So
really weird.
after this week, there's one more week of regular episodes, and then there's the finale the week after, so there's 2 more weeks of the series TNG. Though all good things, the last week might not be 2 weeks from now. I might have to delay because I may or may not get selected for a jury. So we'll see how that
fun.
goes.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks, I've been working hard for it. You know, I've been an alternate juror before, and I'm working my way up to real juror.
I've been on a civil trial in the past. It felt like a civic duty to be done.
Yeah. I was on for a robbery, but I didn't get to go deliberate. A series of robberies, actually. They did a string of them.
Did he get anything
Was
good?
he guilty?
No, he robbed a Subway. Who robs a Subway? Not even like a train. He robbed a sandwich place. What are you gonna get from there? Some lettuce. That's not what people mean by get that green. You need a different kind of green.
Deli slicer?
I guess deli slices are
Genie
expensive, aren't they?
lettuce.
I don't think you took a deli slicer though. I don't remember what he took. I think he just got some money out of the register, but he went in the back room for something. I don't know, it was a while ago. He also used a fake gun. Couldn't even commit to a real gun. Which I felt it was odd
Britain?
that the punishment is the same, regardless if you used a fake gun or a real gun.
Because you...
Right, it's all about the appearance. You're
Yeah.
trying to intimidate the person with the allegedly deadly weapon.
We'll see if I get anything good. this
didn't
time.
attempt any additional crimes, so...
All
I
right, so
haven't
folks, if
heard
you're
about
in,
any
in
murders
Ryan's
recently,
area,
but you know, maybe I missed it. Maybe there's something good going on.
yeah, go do some crimes, make something exciting.
It's probably something lame like breaking into someone's house. Who cares? I don't know. I'll find out soon enough.
Any cases of impersonating the devil?
And not impersonating the devil. I thought you were going to say impersonating an officer of the law. What do you mean impersonating the
Yeah.
devil? How does that work?
I'm trying to think of crimes from Star Trek.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, 1
Starship
minute to start.
hijacking?
TNG Eye of the Beholder, Season 7, Episode 18. Everyone get queued up for that. 1 minute. This is the only episode for the day that's okay. The other 2 are kind of trash. But we're not skipping them.
Well, it'll be worth it when we get to ordered things.
Yes. In 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. Don't know. Then what day is the trial? Is it on Sunday? It's probably not on Sunday.
No, it's actually not on a Sunday.
I didn't realize they did trials on weekends.
I don't bloody know.
15
Do I have to do a tele-trial?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Alright, everybody get ready to press play in 7. No, 3, 2, 1. Play. I was looking at the delayed version again. I should put the real timestamp over that so I stop looking at it. Oh, and blur the screen. There we go. You know, I could probably make that automatic so when the timestamp hits 0, it automatically goes to blur.
Ooh,
I
fancy.
could look into that.
Something's happening in the cell.
Looks like they recolored the
Why is it Riker and Worf
Tractor
doing
beam.
this?
Why not Riker and Worf?
Because, well, yeah, both of them are skilled with it, but it's not their job. Oh, this is why.
Yeah.
I remember
And
this episode.
we get to
now.
figure out what the inside of a warp nacelle looks like. It's actually pretty empty. It's just a big hollow cylinder.
With loads of coils all through it.
Warp coils, even.
Yes.
And plasma.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how the warp coil size has changed over the years.
Has it changed?
I think it's a much smaller object when you get to Enterprise.
Well, they're much smaller nacelles in Enterprise.
The warp coil has changed. The warp coil design has changed over time.
Did it want to do what? That's Lieutenant Kwan. Yeah, okay. That's not that big a deal, Kwan. Could you use a phaser to just stun him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Use a phaser to stun him.
Who's gun on man?
Yeah, use gun on man. It always works. What's the issue here? You don't have to talk him down. Hurry up, Worf. Wait, I think we've seen her before. Have we seen weird, bumpy face lady?
Not to my knowledge.
Hang on, there was a force field there and he could just jump through it? What's the point of the force field?
It's
What does that
obviously
do?
just a particle shield at this point. He probably weakened the force field so he could jump through it.
There wasn't even a
Right, like if
railing.
it's the shuttle bay.
There's emergency force fields across the entire ship, and Worf didn't think to put one up on there.
No, that wasn't a swan dive. That was a Quan dive.
Ooh,
Boo.
stars.
Stars? Oh,
Goodbye,
Yes.
stars.
goodbye.
Nice, nice.
Where do you think they're going? Do their people need them?
They're going on a journey in their favorite rocket ship.
Oh, so after Journey's End, they're gonna fix the mat? They're gonna fix it?
Yeah.
No? They're not? Okay. So let's see, what
Well,
happens in
season
this
7,
episode?
episode 18. If they're not going to fix it for all of the previous hundreds of episodes, they're not going to fix it.
Yeah.
It was a joke based on what I said.
The Journey. So in this episode, what happens? There's the dude from Shawshank Redemption, who I don't remember if he is the villain or if she just thinks he's the villain. There's the intake where Worf walks into a door. I don't think that's in the Amazon
Wolf gets
version, though.
denied by the doors themselves.
Yeah. He's fine. There's the part where Deanna says she filtered out the people. She filtered as much as she could when she's doing her investigation, but she hasn't filtered out, like, women in her search for a man. I don't know what's up with that. You know what? Well, we'll get to that. Hold off on that thought.
So in season 7, it seems that they decided, hey, we're going to make the episodes all link into each other for once.
Are they?
Almost every episode this season has called back to the past episodes.
What way does this?
Like, for example, this one just pulled back to the crew evaluations of the previous episode.
I think the writers had been trying to make a pressure for more connectivity, but had been discouraged from doing so.
A message of some kind. If you guys like some kind of the phrase,
This is
we're going to
the-
get a lot more of that soon.
This is the utopian future Starfleet vision. Nobody's suicides.
Yeah. That's not in keeping with John.
Gene Roddenberry's vision.
Who's John
Vision of the
Roddenberry?
future. I don't know.
Very
It's the transporter clone of Gene Roddenberry. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, the screen is very blurred because, for obvious copyright reasons, I can't show the show. So you just queue up your own version, match to the timestamp, and you watch along together. There's also no show audio for copyright reasons. Ooh, I like those reflections. Those are some good reflections.
Well, it's a real set with real lights and everything.
Yes. I'm just used to things at this point not being real sets, so I look at that, I was like, ooh. Look at that glass warping.
Well, the Mandalorian had essentially real set
They're
with
kind
background.
of real sets. Half real. Though, okay. So, going back to Lieutenant Kwan in the Warp Core for a second, how come there was no railing or anything there, or like a physical door? I feel like there should be
Well,
more
there was
protection from the warp nacelle.
There was a physical door. It was just open.
Was there?
Yeah, they do have emergency bulkheads as well in the
Emergency bulkheads don't even work.
nacelles. But yeah, there is emergency bulkheads across the entire ship, as from one of the TOS films.
You really can't do this kind of thing anymore, can you? Where people just stand around and talk to each other for 5 minutes. I mean, you can. It
I
does
mean,
happen.
That was what Loki did the entire series.
I'm thinking of, like, Discovery has moments where people do absolutely just sit down and talk to each other. Though I'm thinking more, in TNG, they tend to sit down and just talk to each other about nothing relevant. They're just kind of filling time. Some of that was relevant. Ooh, it's the anti-Riker chair. He can't swing his leg over it, because it has the big spikes on the back.
Trying to steal that joke.
That chair's just been put in there, even though we've seen it in other places on the ship.
Yeah,
Just stole it.
frequently when we see someone who's died, we see their quarters, it's obviously just, they're reusing props for this one-off set and put it in there. So when someone dies, and we see the props later, the implication is people just plunder the dead person's belongings. And I doubt Lieutenant Kwan willed this stuff to every other person on the ship.
Maybe it's
Well, I
Also,
mean,
I don't,
he's not
I
using
don't
it
know if
anymore.
wills exist in the future if they don't have possessions.
Tasha had one. So where is his hologram giving everything away?
Asha? Oh. Soji.
So this episode has a really strange line to me. Like when they're interviewing his girlfriend, she says it's not like Dan to take his own life.
Just,
Like,
he
what?
doesn't have a history of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like what the hell does that even mean?
Something people say about
a history of attempting.
I suppose. Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point.
I think people say
It
things
just-
like that. Like it just doesn't seem like the sort of thing he would do. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was always so happy and positive and upbeat.
It's just written strangely, in my opinion.
Mm.
I get the point that there are potentially previous attempts, but like, why
Yeah,
would she frame
people
it that
react-
way if there weren't?
And people do react randomly and intensely to unexpected deaths.
It's true.
Some kind of terrible misunderstanding. So that's 2 so far. 2 some kind Some kind of. How do you pluralize that? Two sums kind of.
I suppose.
This episode so far.
Or some kind of, I suppose. It would be. Yeah, it does have the talking. Loki, the show Loki pretty much did that for its entire show. It was all talking.
Neat. If I want to watch Loki, do I have to have watched all the Marvel stuff before? Because I'm like 23 movies behind.
No, you can watch it without any. It's almost no prior Marvel knowledge. It's a fair idea to watch the Thor films, but it's not an
Four
essential.
films? There's dozens of them. Which four?
The Thor
Oh,
films.
Thor. The Thor films.
It's not essential though.
All I know about the Thor films is that lady who makes the robots. Oh, Simone, that's her name. Simone Giertz is Swedish or something, or Norwegian, or some kind of Scandinavian. And all I know about it is that she pronounces it Thor Ragnarok. That's it. Oh, and there's a meme. There's a meme about an explosion and someone coming out of it. Anyway, yeah, the suicide.
Not like, yeah.
Not, yeah, that line as we finished. Not like him to take his own life.
Yeah.
It wasn't even prompted. It was just.
Okay, I'll agree. That's pretty awkward.
Where is she right now? What is that?
What is this thing in the middle of the bay? Yeah.
Who is she? Are we sure we've never seen her before?
She was at the start of the episode. She was in here.
I know that part. I was thinking, have
You've
we
just
seen
never
her in
come into
other
here.
episodes?
Don't think so.
Apparently, this is
that the
only
same
role
makeup
of the
as the
actress
opera
in
singer?
TNG. Maybe with the 4 arms. Yes, this
Okay,
is the
maybe
episode
not.
where Worf slams under the turbo lift. However, so you don't get your hopes up, that doesn't happen in the real version. He's not going to hit the door here. As much as he should. Was he? He didn't sound ambitious. He was happy that someone noticed he completed repairs slightly sooner than expected. Sounds like he was just very happy with what he had.
The
Those
makeup
tubes-
looks good on her alien species, but man, is that an ugly makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are those tubes? Why do they have to be on the outside? What do they do?
Probably easy, but it's not even disconnectable.
Don't worry
It's
about
not
it.
through any typical method.
I'm worrying about it.
Maybe it's easier for maintenance.
They just break down all the time.
They're not visibly disconnectable. Which would...
Oh,
They might
there's
be
the
like-
door.
There might be parts that actually
Yeah.
degrade over time. It's not that they break down a lot, it's just that they might need to be replaced often.
Terrible. Okay, it took me a few seconds. I had to remember where Pain Terrible Tame is from. That's Yoda.
Isn't it from Farpoint?
It might also be from Farpoint, but I'm thinking of Yoda talking about Skywalker is in pain. Terrible pain.
I was going for
That's-
Farpoint when she senses the jellyfish.
I thought that was from the TOS episode where Spock mind melds with a rock creature.
Maybe. The Horta.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe he exists. Maybe he's still alive and he just exists as energy within the warp coils.
Become one with the warp core.
I wouldn't put it past Star Trek. That sounds like something that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Captain
Yeah, it
Picard became one
almost-
with a cloud one time.
Yeah, I was just about to reference that episode.
We've had multiple species that exist as energy within other clouds, like a whole bunch of convicts on a prison colony. They just wanted them to bring the ship closer. Troy, of course, has her 3 pips because she took the test. Good for her.
Yep.
How come Troy has a bowl of fruit?
She hungers.
But she's ordering something right now. When people are hungry, they just order from the replicator. What's the bowl for?
They're
What?
fake. Maybe it's decoration.
They're decorative fruit?
I don't know. Maybe. The mind of Troy is a very complicated place.
Do you mean Sheriff? Yeah, see, this is the kind of dialogue I'm talking about where it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't have anything to do with the story. It's just people talking. That sounds racist. Oh, that's another reference, Soma. He saw visions and fire in his quarters when he was late for work that one time. And then he had to go to the weird asteroid planet and wait for Kalis.
Remember how there's like a clone of Kalis that's floating around?
Yeah, he's currently Emperor of the Klingon Empire.
Isn't that strange?
What is
I mean, he has no
doing?
real power.
Yeah.
Very strange.
He's like the
He's-
Queen of England.
Yeah. He's just there to make appearances and wave. Any fancy aliens in the background? There's Riker. I don't know if he counts. No, just a bunch of
Oh,
humans.
he
Like
definitely
that, he's
counts.
pretty fancy.
What are you wearing, Riker? No, that shirt does not work on you, Jonathan.
I like how in the future the civilian clothes just all look so strange.
Awful.
Got
Cisco,
another
where's the
example in the
bus seat?
background there.
People of the future really like having ruffles on one side. They like stripes. They like deep V-necks in particular.
Mm.
God, Worf, just come out and say it.
This spreading around the issue.
That's a great scene.
This is an interesting variation on the theme.
The solar panel?
Suicide, but also whimsical romantic drama.
Is that the B plot? Are we gonna get more romantic drama? Maybe a little. With the laughing at the end in particular. Do we... Are we sure we should open the door?
On to her.
That's not helpful, Deanna. Look, even if there's a door there, I really feel like there should be a railing.
We get a direct look at the warp tours, toils there.
How do people do maintenance on the core? Not the core, the nacelle. What's his name? Boggs? From Shawshank? Was that Boggs?
I think so.
Okay.
Seems to be
There you go.
construction of the ship.
Or is Boggs Sloan from DS9?
Well, they're definitely both in there. Hang on. Shawshank Redemption. Boggs. Okay, no,
Yeah.
Boggs is the villain from this episode. Okay.
So this is an extremely well appointed set for a one-off.
Yeah.
Hello.
Howdy. Why is the open door button the Starfleet symbol?
Because Starfleet is insecure, and
They're
everything
very
has
on
to have
brand.
a Starfleet symbol.
Their cups have Starfleet logos on them. Their open door buttons have Starfleet logos. Their tennis rackets have
So-
Starfleet logos.
I
Everything's
think that
branded.
when you put too much branding, it makes it look cheap. It makes it look like junk. I feel like if the less branding you have, the better. Like I was working for a company that did prototype stuff for the auto industry, and we were working on the concept for a new Hummer. And one of the ideas for the pedals was to make it the Hummer logo, like the brake pedal, the Hummer, like H3 or whatever. And it was just too much. It was like over the top. It was like, what, you know.
I like
the
how
Enterprise
Data
B
feels
was-
the need to explain to this room full of officers, high-ranking officers, what Utopia Planitia is. I think they know about
Yeah.
it.
It's checked up with all
He's
of us that
explaining-
remember that it's Utopia Planitia.
He's explaining to the audience.
I
Come on.
know, but
He's the exposition android.
It makes sense for this character, though,
Ah.
to be perfectly honest.
Utopia Planitia, the place where the Enterprise was built by Dr. Leah Brahms, a hologram of which was dated by Geordi briefly, until she came onto the Enterprise for real, and they had an awkward
8 years
interaction.
ago. So the Enterprise was completed construction just before the start of the series.
Dated or violated?
Well, from the hologram's perspective, it was dating. From real Leah's perspective, it was violating.
In fairness to Geordi, he never intended for it to go that way.
No. But I'm pretty sure it does fade out once fake Leah comes onto him, so we don't know how far he went with it. Being overwhelmed. Maybe we could get a better telepath. Maybe we could get your mom.
No, I think Picard was vehemently just say, nope, I'm moving to another ship, goodbye. Oh, it's this scene, right. I was wondering why she was looking through it.
Yes, the scene
He
of I
bangs
think
his head on the.
I think I've
on the
limited the
turbo
search
lift.
as much as I can. Really, Deanna? So you can rule out half of them immediately. The man who looked
You
familiar
mean may
to me,
have
you
served
say?
it may have served on the Enterprise in its entire lifetime, you mean?
How many people can that possibly be? Men
How many
who-
extras have they shown?
Several thousand.
Men who worked on the construction of the Enterprise who are now stationed on the Enterprise.
Those seem very odd.
Oh, hang on. Okay, I took a screenshot so I can read that. Let's see about Mr. Boggs' service record. He was originally on the USS Chicago, USS Suleiman, USS Umibozu, then the Enterprise. Specialty in 5 linear warp containment systems.
Wow.
Lieutenant, he went to the Starfleet Academy in San Francisco. He was born on Epsilon Indy 2.
Fun fact, I was watching Babylon 5 a while ago, and he showed up as a serial murderer on that show. Surprise.
Poor guy never gets to play a good guy.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
always
he's just...
evil.
He's got that kind of, like, ability to look really creepy. It's not necessarily just him.
It's the
just that
way
he
his
can pull that
expression is
off.
dead when he's doing his acting.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
doesn't look like he feels anything. Like, even he's smiling, that doesn't look like a real smile at all. Also, he has an average efficiency or coino rating or coined rating of 8.6, which I assume is out of 10, so that's pretty good.
It's actually out of 1,000. He's really bad.
Oh, okay. How did he get to the Enterprise?
How does
Just
Barkley?
got pawned off like Barkley? Yeah.
Rats.
Wait a second. Oh, no. Okay. I only saw one pip. It's like, wait, that's wrong. No, he has 2 pips. He's fine. I want to make comments about the pips, but we're not allowed to talk about Lower Decks Season 2. But for those of you who have seen Season 2, you know what's up.
What's Pierce's Esper rating? Is that his log entry?
Is that still canon?
Maybe. I just don't consider original series canon in general.
Ouch.
It doesn't make any
Nor does
sense with
Gene,
the
to be
rest of the
honest.
series. Yeah, I don't think
If-
Gene considered it.
If
Gene actually,
Discovery-
on when creating the Next Generation, tried to strike TOS from canon.
I guess I think of TOS as like beta canon. It's canon unless contradicted by something else, which it has been a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah, I guess I'll only consider DS9 canon. I really think about it.
What confuses me is that when they made the motion picture Enterprise was supposed to retcon the television Enterprise. So, like, that was how the bridge supposedly
always
always
looked like
looked. That
that.
was how the ship always looked. But then when they had relics, they had, like, the TOS bridge. And then when they did, the Trials and Tribulations, they used TOS bridge.
Maybe canon
Well,
is
understand
just
it was
making
written
sense.
after Gene
but-
Roddenberry's death, and it was Gene Roddenberry who thought that the Enterprise in the motion picture was a retcon, but it seems like other people think it was a refit.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is a
even though
refit.
it's clearly
They
a
say,
very different ship.
yeah, they
with
say in the
completely
movie that it's a
different
refit.
dimensions.
Oh, here's
Captain
another
Decker
one.
even
It's a
says-
refit.
Yeah, he argues with Kirk and says, "This is almost a totally new Enterprise. You don't know where a 10th as well as I do."
Yeah, it's a refit, but it was supposed to always have that look. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was supposed to look like that.
They refit the internal systems, not the carpet.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
And
it
a lot
clearly.
of that overlapped into things like the Klingons. They
Wait, why
spent
does Worf
forever
also have a
not
bowl of fruit?
really
And he has
addressing-
2 glasses of orange juice. What's the 2 glasses of orange juice for?
Well,
They're
They're
This
both
is
half full.
Troy's
Why
room.
doesn't he just have 1 cup? One
This
cup
is
that's
Troy's
all the way
room.
full. Oh, this is Troy's room. Why does
Wonder-
she have 2 cups of
I
orange
wonder
juice?
if
They
Klingons
might
wake
be
people up
drinking it.
like they do the death rites. They grab their eyes, open them up, and yell, "Ah! Time
It's
to
'cause
wake
they got
up!
breakfast.
So the
Time to get up and kill the day, defeat the day."
so Worf replicated 2 cups of orange juice for them, but both of the cups are only half full. Why couldn't Worf replicate them more orange juice? Who wants half a cup?
Maybe it's to prevent spillage on the carpet.
Maybe he had some.
Time does Crusher get
irritated.
up? What time did Crusher get up then compared to them?
I don't think that was a very appropriate way to address a superior officer.
What did she say? Or he say? Who said what?
The way Worf spoke to Crusher, just the tone, like he was
Well, it's
incredibly
Worf. He's
inconvenienced by
always
her
rude.
paging him.
That's just how Worf is.
Oh,
She's
she's
probably
pretending like the
the
first time they
agreed to
saw.
rank at all, but Crusher has. Or she always, I
Counselor.
don't remember.
That display in the back looks like a modern art painting.
Are you needed here? Isn't this Geordi's job? Now, don't be like
No,
Troy.
Geordie's here.
Don't just assume because someone's talking to another woman in any capacity that there's something sketch going on, Troy.
Yes.
It's a very Worf thing to do, isn't it, Troy?
Just because Jadzia wants to have a quick lunch with Captain Baudet.
But you can
Yeah,
see
there's
his
anything
brain.
weird going on.
skull.
His brain is
the one with the
bigger than
transparent
either one
skull.
of us. I know, I've seen it. Oh, Captain Baudet. They're not even dating, Troy and Worf. They're not
They
even a
made an
couple.
issue earlier of not being able to have this open, so why is it open now?
So this is why Geordi can't fix the field generator. He's busy. What about the rest of the engineering team?
They can go into it this way as well, it seems.
Yeah. Though I think
Whoa.
now this is gonna sound like I'm a crazy person. I think we've seen that door opening panel before. I think this is that room they just walked into was a reuse of the room where Geordi and Aquiel were having their weird rock ceremony. And Riker walked in with a gun.
Remind me of that, please.
Do you think so? Is that view of the nacelle probably like a miniature?
That fits for the Utopia
is it-
Benicia people.
It
Yeah, I
looks
think it's a
real.
miniature.
It's definitely real. You can see
It's
lights
gotta be
going
a
on in the
miniature. They
background
didn't build
moving.
it that big. It's not a matte painting, but it's gotta be a
Yeah, because like
miniature,
there
right?
are different perspectives. So like if they matte painted the different
Mhm.
perspectives, that's a lot of work.
Mhm.
It could be
Let me
It
CG,
could be-
see if
honestly.
I can find it. TNG.
Well, yeah,
warp
it could be
coil
CG
miniature.
for the remaster.
No, they didn't redo any of the effects for the remaster, I think. It's not
I
the
think they
TOS
did
remaster where they
some of them.
redid the effects.
No, they
redid
did
the
at least some
crystalline
effects.
entity.
They redid him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they redid the crystalline entity with CG.
Hmm.
Modern CG.
They fixed at least one instance of a phaser coming from a torpedo tube.
They fixed that?
Yep.
It's funny. That's in Darmok, right?
Yes.
Now, the ship has incinerators. Why would you not just incinerate them?
Why not just put it in a replicator and recycle?
So true.
Maybe that leaves a record of what was recycled.
You recycled
used-
one ensign.
They used to have sensors that would detect personal phasers going off. Doesn't seem to happen again.
When doesn't it
I
happen?
did a search for nacelle internal miniature, and I get a lot of wind turbines.
Why add in
Back in
Star
Star
Trek to
Trek
the search
6?
parameters?
But it does have this episode in the top of the thing, but it doesn't talk about the miniature.
Wait, I need to see that again. What's her efficiency rating? Boggs was 8.6.
They measure this. It must be one hell of a workplace.
Some kind of an accident, number 3. No, I need to see her efficiency rating. All right. Lieutenant Guan has an efficiency rating of 8.4. He's lower than Boggs. Maybe it's an inverse scale. Maybe it's a golf scale. I'm just thinking, I mean, this is the man who finished a repair job slightly earlier than expected. He's got to be a 10. 10 out of 10. Do you want to bring a gun?
He's gonna growl him into submission.
Worf almost always has a gun around his hip on the bridge.
But not
One
when he's
time he tried
doing
to
his security
phaser the
duties?
view screen because Q
Oh,
was on
yeah,
it.
Jesus. When was that?
In Encounter at Farpoint.
Yeah, it was the first episode.
He tried to phaser the big Ferengi face? No, not the Ferengi face.
No,
What happened in
Q.
Encounter at Farpoint? That was
On
the
Farpoint.
jellyfish.
Yeah, and Groppler Zorn.
He tried to phaser... Who did he try to phaser there?
Q.
He tried to
He was on
phaser
the view
Q.
screen.
Ah.
And,
No, he was in the bridge, I thought, right?
No, he was on the view
definitely-
screen for a bit.
Yeah, he definitely
and
tried to
Worf
phaser
tried
his screen at
the
some
view
point.
screen.
Or if his,
Well,
all brawn, no brains until, like, season 4 of DS9.
No
oh
brains,
gosh,
no
we had a
honor.
whole. We had an episode with a whole subplot about how Troy can't get through a whole day without sensing other people's emotions, and now she just took a drug to turn them off.
Yeah.
Well, she was distressed in that one because she didn't know it was going to come back. Here, she knows it's just a drug.
Yeah.
It's like if you
Okay,
get
fair
anesthesia.
enough.
If you get anesthesia in your hand and it feels weird, you're not like panicking that, oh my god, my hand's going to be numb for the rest of my life. You know.
Well, funny you
That's
should
fair.
mention that. So, my aunt had knee replacement and she had an epidural,
She's changed back into
and
her.
she
old
never
self.
got her feeling back.
God, yeah,
Oh,
what is
well,
she
see,
wearing?
that's-
That's
Change back into
yeah,
the
they'd
old
actually
self.
damaged her spine in that case, probably.
Yeah, something happened.
Wait, why is he here? Why isn't Worf arresting him?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't actually have any cause to arrest him. We have no proof, but why isn't...
And where'd her old outfit come from?
She just keeps it in her closet.
Where is it off duty in season 7?
This guy just looks like a serial killer. He's like, they model him after Ted Bundy, didn't they?
How come Troy's the only one with an off-duty outfit that she wears all the time? Like, occasionally you'll see Riker in that weird deep V-neck, but the vast majority of the time, if they're just playing poker or something, they're all in uniform. Troy's always in this thing off-duty.
I like how they just do it. Why are you holding him? What's your evidence? I have a hunch, not an empathic feeling, not some type of psychic knowledge, just a hunch.
Well, this Starfleet, although it's not technically a military organization, it is still paramilitary. So, like,
Yeah.
she has the ability to order somebody arrested.
I remember in the episode The Drumhead, when they brought in that telepath to, like, scan people who were interrogated. Picard was like, oh, you cannot use a telepath to determine someone's guilt. I will not act based on her feeling. What's happening here? Seems like they're acting a
She's
lot based
having
on
a
Troy's feeling.
vision.
I know. It's all a fake ever since that moment when Worf went missing from the room. From engineering. Why is there a gun on the table?
He always has a gun on the
Believe
table.
Lieutenant
He's
Worf
Worf.
is dead.
Oh, it's
Well,
messing with
it's
Sash.
established.
Guns.
We've established that they just keep phasers in random places. You know, like how Riker tosses Crusher a phaser from sickbay. Just random phaser on a sickbay counter.
Yeah, it was like a little drawer right next to the blue and red liquid bowl jars. There's just a little cart, and there's a phaser sitting on it. When he was gonna tell her to go take care of the cat, right?
Yep.
Here, you'll need this.
How come the phaser didn't disintegrate Worf if it was set to kill?
Well, not
It
all
always
skill settings
doesn't
are
have to
disintegrate.
kill.
When
like
has it
the little
ever
solar
not
panels on the
disintegrated
bottom.
someone that it killed?
When you don't set it to disintegrate.
I think disintegrate is the default.
Doesn't the phaser have like 12 or 20 or 24 settings or something?
I think it's
Everything
16.
from irritating poke
Extremely
to
overdesigned.
total disintegration.
But the phaser have 3 settings. Phaser has 3 settings on them. Stun, kill.
It's the only way out, Troy. You killed a man.
I think it's only 2 settings. Stun and
Now, somebody please use gun on Troy. Just stun Troy.
The TNG phasers, I think, have 16 settings.
And she's suddenly back into a
I think so.
normal uniform.
Tommy's fun was 2
Was
settings.
Troy forced to shoot Worf, or is Troy like have the mind of a murderer?
I don't
Like cheating
know.
is bad as all,
Was she
but
making decisions there?
it doesn't justify murdering Worf.
Like how
Do you
Chief
think it's
O'Brien, he
discreet?
chose to murder that guy in his mind prison. Did Troy choose to murder Worf?
Yeah, that's a good
happened?
question.
It's interesting that
Is it
Troy isn't talking about this.
I don't think she's going to admit to it.
Hmm.
People think she's a killer, and she is.
Here's a fun trivia fact about this episode, where Troy is dealing with that life force thing. In the room that they're at, this used to be the engineering of Voyager. They just remodeled it for the Enterprise, the next generation. So yeah, but you can see how the room is laid out. It's exactly the same as the
That doesn't sound right.
engineering of Voyager.
They
And remember
they
everyone,
filming
no
Voyager at that
discussion of
point?
what happened in Lower Deck Season 2. It is verboten.
Yes.
By the way, guys, how you doing?
Fine.
Good.
I'm back from vacation.
So,
How was Riza?
It's back Tuesday.
Lieutenant Kwan killed himself because he had a bad dream about... What caused the bad dream? Was he psychic? There was an
So
empathic echo
Quan
of
is
a
partially
murder.
empathic, and so is Pierce. And Pierce's vaporization by the plasma stream embedded his telepathic signature into the bulkhead, which is what Troy picked up. It's a bunch of nonsense, but that's the explanation.
So we are doing the whole he merged with the plasma stream to become an energy being, effectively.
Yeah.
Effectively, yes.
Killed by
Can't
who?
tell him.
Yeah, that's a good question, Worf. Thank you for asking that.
Okay, Troy.
You weren't even dating, Troy. Why are you so casual about this? You shot a man.
If he goes from 0 to
And this
murder,
Worf.
She's a killer. She's got killer instinct.
Yeah,
It's the hallucination. It wasn't her.
that Klingon instinct.
I think it was her. I think she chose to kill him.
All right.
She's
It's just
a
about time
murderer.
for Spider Barkley.
Because some people
Time for the
Spider-
nerd episode.
Spider Barkley
What does Spider
still
Barkley do?
suffers from social anxiety.
Evolution?
Spins a web around the core. Still can't get a girl through his door. Look out!
Okay.
Here comes
Okay.
Spider Barkley.
1 minute countdown to the next episode, Genesis. 1 minute.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
Is
go
this
get
time
a
for
drink, you
Ooga
gotta
Booga
go
Riker?
fast.
It is Ooga Booga Riker.
Yes. Also, I didn't notice there, but I had 2 instances of the watch alarm playing as well as the Discord, and I somehow didn't get confused for like 5 minutes.
Wow. Multi-track mind.
I have multi-threaded brain, many wrinkles.
Very impressive.
The wrinkles are like
Even the wrinkles have
pathways.
wrinkles.
Yeah,
No
the
smooth
wrinkles are
brain
the
seer.
pathways which the data flows along. I'm very smart.
Yes, Levitator has been really good.
It is.
Some great Trekkie moments in season 2.
Spoilers.
I'm not going to say more than that, but some great Trekkie moments.
I
Okay,
don't wanna,
everybody
like,
get
if
ready
there's
to press
any
play
tricky
in
moments.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Booga booga.
I think I'm going
Would
to
highly
Tonic Matrix.
NSS.
I can remember everything.
Highly-
I
all.
wish.
would a highly
I just
efficient
have a
brain look like a
lousy
loofah?
geotonic matrix.
Hey, look, it's Ogawa. She made it into first contact. Can you believe that?
I'm gone. Yeah. I mean, I can't believe it,
Think's
but
got a...
I can see she's on right now.
Wait, hang
But one of
on.
those old transistor
Riker fell
units.
on a sea urchin.
Hang on, I have some concerns here. Riker said that he was hanging out with Lieutenant whoever, and things got a little
Yes.
romantic and he rolled over, but they were in the Arboretum. This wasn't his quarters. They were in public.
Yeah. Well, you can probably reserve parts of the Arboretum for
Is this
You
Gene
know.
Roddenberry's vision of the future?
time.
You can get like
Yeah.
booth in the arboretum.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's the casual relationship.
Oh.
Get it?
Oh, stream's dying. The stream's gone. No, it's back. It's coming back. It's
Oh,
fine.
It's not starship.
Oh,
It's
no,
a
the stream's
casual
back.
relationship.
Casual?
No, the stream's...
Yeah.
Oh, I also need to blur the screen. Ah, that's why the stream crashed, because the stream wasn't blurred. It was just reminding me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very helpful.
I think Gene
There we go.
Roddenberry's
Now
trying
that the
to scare
screen's
us down,
blurred, the
though.
connection
No,
is
he's not.
perfectly
He's-
stable.
Yeah.
Spot.
Kitty cat.
But
President
Spot
Spot.
was a boy
Kitty.
before.
Kitty.
Aw.
It's a good cat. Actually,
Looks
no.
like Snowball
Brent
in The
Spiner-
Simpsons.
That's good. This is
Brent
good,
Spiner
Kitty.
hated Spot. Spot was the... Well, I don't know if he actually hated Spot the cat. But he does say that Spot was the worst actor he had ever worked with.
That's probably
That's
aren't very
fine.
good actors in general.
You have to get them to give a shit. That's hard.
I know it's another episode, but I like him in the Fistful of Datas.
Eurodelian flu. Not to be confused with the Levodian flu or the Earth flu.
Right, yeah. Barbonian fruit.
So, with all of our experience over the last year and a half, where did he pick up this infection from? Is he transmitting it to people? Should he have a mask on?
He had an encounter, and
It's a-
I'm
it's
not
a-
allowed to disclose anything else.
it's a
Yeah,
flu
so I'm gonna
that
affect you.
most other
Yeah.
people don't affect them, and it's also a very minor one.
He got infected like he all of a sudden gonna affect him like we all do.
For a real answer, previously in this show, and they also talked about it in Enterprise, that you can get sick on a starship from like opening a casing that was packed by someone who was ill.
Yeah, just like when you open your Amazon package and it smells funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Even in the future, you need to wash your hands.
Surely you just hold your hands out and it like sonics it or something.
So Alyssa in the finale has her baby dies. I feel like we're allowed
Wait,
to spoil
what?
TNG. That's fine. Does the baby get better at the end when like the weird time effects are reverted? Is everything fine?
What?
When they're approaching
No,
the
we watched in
anti-time
the same
anomaly and they're
episode.
going backwards, Alyssa's baby just ceases to exist because it de-ages back to literally negatives.
I'm sure it's fine.
It gets reabsorbed into the body.
I don't know.
Yeah, but then
I
when they
think
Does
the-
it turn to a fetus before it ceases to exist?
well, it's a fetus now. The baby doesn't get born ever.
Oh, okay.
She's still pregnant with the kid and she loses the child. But
I haven't seen All Good Things since I was a kid.
Right. I think by the end, it ends up being Picard was the only one that had the experience, and he's telling everyone about it.
So Ogawa's kid is fine.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm sure. Nothing's going to happen to him.
I would have liked a
I'm
quick
pretty
scene
sure that they would
establishing
end
that.
TNG with a miscarriage.
They might. Is
I
it
don't
really a
think they'd do
miscarriage if
that.
the child never technically existed?
A decarriage?
No. It's not.
There was no carriage to miss in the first place. Because it never happened. We made it up. It was all a fabrication.
Question unrelated to this. We seem to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All Good
never
Things is going to be the only episode in 2 weeks' time. Is that right?
No, there will be one episode plus All Good Things.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
This is
This
the
the episode
second
today, aren't
episode
we?
today.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That
It'll
works out
be
perfectly
Preemptive
then.
Strike and All Good Things. Which, as a reminder, it might not be 2 weeks from now. It'll depend on whether I get picked for jury duty or not. And what the schedule is for jury duty. It might be in 2 weeks. I'm given like 85% chance it's in 2 weeks.
Time to perform your service as a citizen.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Enhance the targeting system. Wait, is Worf gonna
Be a good
miss? Is that this
Be a good
episode?
citizen. Be a good citizen.
Was that the Martok thing, or is that the Moog thing on his sash?
That's still Moog. DS9 hasn't
Does it
happened
look-
yet.
I know, but it looks awfully like the Martok. A badge? I don't know what you call it.
Oh.
They all look the same.
Yeah, Klingons all look the same.
I don't know. It might be from DS9. I don't know.
So, this isn't what I remembered happening. I remembered in Enterprise, there's a bit where they're practicing their torpedoes, and one just turns around and comes back at the Enterprise. They're like, Reed, do you want to do something about this?
Torpedo has gained sentience and seeks to destroy the Enterprise.
Why would you destroy such a good show and a good ship? The NX-01, I think, is one of the most beautiful ships they've ever made.
I don't know my grade, but
On the inside, maybe.
I love the outside of the NX-01. It's beautiful.
I don't know. That's all right.
I kind of don't like grade, but that's alright. He's
It's
alright.
better than the D. That's for
It's
sure.
better than the D looks a little wide.
Yeah.
It looks unbalanced. Front heavy,
Yeah.
which doesn't matter because they're in space, but it still feels weird.
It can't beat the original or the refit original.
I just
Like,
noticed Data
the original
made a
design's just too
grammatical
good.
mistake. He says Captain Picard and me, not I.
Mr. Data!
That appears
I
again.
don't know, it should be me in that case, actually.
I didn't
For
catch the
me
line. I
to-
don't know what specifically he said.
Captain Picard and
Not like
me
this.
to complete our mission. I suppose it would
Oh yeah,
be
that's
me.
grammatically correct. That's fine.
There's just more cases of it being I than me.
Because you wouldn't
No,
say
people-
he ordered I to complete
99%
the
of the time say and I these days. It drives me nuts. Like, yeah. You can go
It
along
would be
with that
funny.
if you and me.
It would be funny if there was an episode where Data was fussing over diction and syntax and intentionally started just throwing in wrong words.
Yeah.
Makes
This is
perfect
so sad.
sense that
Spock doesn't have a box.
makes perfect sense that Lieutenant Barclay would be good with cats.
Mhm.
Not with people, with cats.
That's
Who are the other 12 male felines? Why do we never get to see those cats? I want to see those cats. What are their names? What color fur do they have? Do they have patterns? Who do they live with? Are they
Whoa. Why are you
outdoor?
getting up
quote,
on all these
unquote,
cats'
instant-
businesses? It's none of your business.
Are they outdoor cats in
What?
the sense that they can wander the corridors?
Bartley's still an ensign.
Ensign Broccoli.
He's not supposed to be an ensign. He's supposed to be a lieutenant.
Maybe it's you, Worf. Maybe it's something wrong with you.
Maybe you're just bad at your
Is he
job.
all irritable?
I thought Klingons, true
Look,
Klingon
everyone
warriors,
uses a
appreciate
highly
it.
dangerous antimatter torpedo once in a while.
How hard is it to like click on a touchscreen to target an asteroid? Jeez.
Oh no, are we about to get the most horrifying scene in the show for me? No, not yet. Soon. Dr. Crusher's screen is for me in the entire run of all Star Trek is the most horrifying scene. It's less physical gore, but the scream. Gates, why do you gotta do it like that?
Doing too good of a job.
She's doing way too good of a job.
What's her efficiency rating?
10 out of 10. What are you eating, Worf? Is that supposed to be Targ? I mean, it's not Targ, it's a turkey leg, but is it supposed to be Targ?
It's interesting how they started Klingon food using raw octopus, but now the octopus is cooked. Curious.
Burnt, replicated bird meat is what he's eating. What you staring at, Worf? Worf?
He sees a female. Oh, he sees another one.
Don't do it, Worf. Leave her alone.
His instincts are kicking in, the primal instincts.
Sounds like he needs to go to holodeck 3.
It is always his fault. That's why he always says it. Really? Worf can design guidance systems? What kind of training does Worf have? I thought he just beat people up. What does he do?
He's being really awful today.
He is being awful because of space magic, though.
I like those shiny glasses.
You think it's space magic? Yeah,
There's
maybe you're
a lot
right.
of space
Yeah.
magic happening.
Honestly, I don't really
This
like
is a lot even
He
for him.
feels the call of the hunter.
What's he gonna hunt on the ship?
Everything.
it.
Is he gonna go hunt down the 12 felines?
Do you ever
Maybe
see
to
Worf
warm
use
up.
that batleth? One looks different from the other ones.
Is that moss? Why did he have
I think
moss
it's
in his
like-
quarters?
I think it's stuff. Oh
I
no,
don't
it's
know.
not stuff
What
out
are
of
the
bed.
rocks in the ceiling?
What are
Worf
you
has become a
doing, Worf?
cat.
He's bedding himself down, getting nice
Hang
and
on.
comfy.
He doesn't have ridges on his feet here. He had ridges on his feet before.
Outrageous.
He got them removed.
Maybe that's part of the devolution, or maybe that's just he filed them off.
It was phase 1.
Why is he get like? Why is a spider's behavior like super like energetic and jumpy? I've never
Spiders are
associated that
pretty
particularly
quick.
with spiders.
If
Maybe
you see
he
a spider
devolves
trying to
into
run somewhere,
a jumping
spiders.
spider. Have you considered that?
Spiders don't run from me. I capture them instantly. I put the glass over them and let them calm down for a bit, and then I throw them outside.
Yes,
Be
that's
gone.
the. But when the spiders have room to run, some spiders just go crazy fast.
Yeah, but comparatively, it's not that fast if you go. Like, they're running
Yeah,
like
that's only because
half a
they're
mile
small.
per hour.
No, some spiders. You can find videos online of spiders running like faster than a human. Tiny little things that
Maybe
are just
we should
zooming.
I don't believe
maybe
that.
we should destroy those spiders.
Some spiders do run fast, but I don't think any spider can run as fast as a human. They're just too small. And the big spiders are pretty slow.
If any spider does exceed that speed, then we know who the enemy is.
The spiders?
I don't believe it.
Fast running spider. Let me look this up.
Yeah, look up the fastest spider.
No, this is someone spinning really fast. I don't want that. Jesus. What's the point of it spinning fast? Oh, that's not
She's
what I'm
just
looking for.
started being a commander, and now she's like,
How did Worf going from being a cat to being
Jesus.
back on the bridge in his uniform, being all stoic and stuff?
Wait, who's
I
back on
like
the
how he
bridge
didn't
after?
question that. He just pulled a wire up through it.
I was very concerned when Barkley was waving that thing around. He was not being careful with that. Maybe he was admiring it. It's like, ooh, this is long and spindly.
It was so that they could add
Episode where
special effects. in.
Picard says the thing about the speech, which is quite hypnotic and very long. The
No,
incredibly
we've already had that one. That
unbroken
was
sentence.
from...
time
Incredibly
skip.
long.
That was the one where
unbroken
time was stopped on
sentence.
the Enterprise.
In this one, do they also like have Picard in a shuttlecraft who will then investigate the ship,
Yes.
but it's full of spiders?
Absolutely. Riker, or not Riker. Oh, hey, there's Tracy. What does Tracy turn into?
Hmm.
It's a shuttle with
Not
Data
Riker,
and
Tracy.
Picard, and they all show up in a bit.
I see. But there will be no unbroken sentences.
No. All the sentences are going to be broken. They're not at all hypnotic.
Limey
He's
Troy.
not just going to keep talking and talking and talking.
All right, so what's the better Troy, regular Troy or slimy Troy?
What does that even mean?
But she's gonna be all slimy because she's turning into an amphibian, so she's gonna have like slimy secretions.
Now,
I'll bite the Troy.
I'm unclear as to the nature of their relationship at this point, though generally it's considered
I think it's
impolite to
pretty
just
clear
walk
now.
into someone's bathroom while they're in there.
They're officers with benefits.
You could at least knock first, Worf. Being de-evolved
You
is
had to
not
be
an
near
excuse
her?
to be impolite.
Tell that to Riker.
Alright, we're like 10 seconds away from the most horrifying scene in the whole series for me.
Oh.
What's that on the side of his neck? Is that a venom sac? 3,
They're just gorgeous.
2, 1. Oh, I was off by a bit. Dang it.
I'm so sorry I
3,
know what that means.
2. Oh, don't touch it.
It's a gorge.
I don't... It might be... Did you not notice that until just now? Bioacidic compound. Would you like to experience the venom sac, Miss McFadden?
Worf is a spitting cobra.
Wait, the venom is what? That
You're
was like
not
a
wrong.
phaser beam.
Yeah, Gates
You're
screaming
not wrong.
there right.
That was a scream right there. You're right. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
that's
The
most
special
of the
effect was the most horrifying part of that, not her screaming.
the screaming and the writhing on the ground. Usually, when people like get exploded by the phaser or something, it's just bad CG and it's kind of comical. That's actually like a woman is in terrible pain and got acid
Yeah.
thrown in her face. That's just ah.
Well, I think it's implied that hole in the Jeffries tube was from
His
Worf,
recruitment actually threw
and
acid.
so that just happened to her face.
I've seen pictures of people who had acid thrown on their face. It's not pleasant.
It's horrible.
Some
Gates, could
sort of
you
disease.
ham it up a bit so we can
Oh no, my face!
my face. I know the feeling, Riker.
What does Geordi turn into? We never see that.
I
He
think
seems to
right
be
now
fine
he's
right
just turning
now.
into a slightly sweatier than average man.
He is a very sweaty man.
Everyone's a little sweaty.
Especially Torny.
Except Ogawa. Ogawa's not sweaty. Just the men are sweaty.
No, but she has some nice physical acting going.
What does Ogala
You
turn
can see where
into?
she's
She's not
going.
sweaty
yeah,
on her
what's she-
face, you know?
Does her baby turn into something?
Maybe.
Her baby turns out just fine.
Why did TNG decide to have a body horror episode?
Out of ideas. I mean,
After 7 years,
that is
and,
that is the running theme throughout this
100
season.
Can you believe that they were going to do 8
156
seasons?
episodes at this point. This is like what, the 157th, 158th episode?
Were they going to do an 8th? I didn't know that.
They were. Well, they were thinking.
Yeah, but then they
about it.
made the mistake to make movies instead.
Honestly, I'm glad we didn't
Yeah,
get a
they were
season
gonna
8
do an
because
8.
season 7 is already dropping rapidly in quality.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Well,
True,
the problem is
but-
that they wrote these without realizing that they were going to have to wrap up all the loose threads in like 3
Yeah.
episodes at the end of the season.
Is that true?
So,
Is Data going to
had they
de-evolve
known this
into a
was gonna be
literal
the
toaster?
last-
Is that what's going to happen?
That'd be
Aw.
funny.
That just looks
If-
like a Miranda class or something when it's upside down.
Kinda.
I just imagine that he would de-evolve into like one of those old school calculators with the bubble display.
Mr. Data works my bread in just the right way. It's just
So about them
perfectly
doing a
crispy.
season. Go ahead.
No, that was it. I'm done.
I was going to say, if they had actually done a season 8, I wonder if that would have changed the precedent for the other series. If we would have gotten an 8th season of DS9 and an 8th of Voyager.
Maybe.
Neath of Voyager would have been nice. Voyager also seemed really rushed at the end.
So, I mean, according to some conspiracies, Discovery was supposed to be canceled after season 1. But, you know, actually, how many seasons do we think it's going to get?
What do you
'cause
mean
it's-
conspiracies?
Every-
People
I
were
know
conspiring
shows
to
not run
say
very
that
long,
it was
but I think
cancelled
they'll go to
after
7
season
for
1.
tradition.
Every
For
time
whatever
a new
reason,
season
Discovery is a
comes
very
out.
popular show.
Every time a new season comes out, there's always videos about like, oh, season 2, season 3 canceled due to poor ratings. There's always another one. They're just
Discovery
making
had
things
great
up.
ratings and numbers. Like, it spawned 4 spin-offs at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way that
Like,
doesn't happen.
for
That happens.
Discovery,
If,
but
yeah.
it's clearly very popular.
Ooh. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
it's
You'd
the
think
terrible
by the
flashlights.
25th century or whatever, they would have torches that you don't have to hold with your entire hand like that.
They
Like,
do.
one-
They just
Yeah.
don't use
It
them.
is
They have
very
ones
odd.
that's strapped to their wrist and they
Torches,
have
or
to
they're
point,
on
but they're
their
still
wrists.
fast.
Later on they get ones on their wrists.
Yeah, like
Why
that's
don't
not
they
a whole
have-
hand. You
Interesting that
can't
they
use
have
them.
pouches on their side in the uniforms do have
Like-
pockets.
Why don't
They
they
should
get
have
some of those
head-mounted or shoulder-mounted lights.
the what you
I
call
have
them?
I have two questions. One, why does Captain Picard not have just a hat with a light, like a miner's hat? And two, why does Data need a flashlight? If he needs a light, why can't his eyes just glow really bright and be flashlights?
Yeah.
That seems like a
I
design
don't think
oversight by
his
Mr.
eyes
Soong.
glow.
They just need some Herodian battle lights like strapped to their chest.
His eyes don't need to glow. He just can see in the dark, like being an android.
Yeah, but it
you
would be
know?
helpful to everyone around him if his eyes could be big and
Well,
big
why would it have to
flashlights,
come out of his eyes? That would
floodlights.
make it difficult for them to also be sensors. So it would have to be like his head glows or something.
It's the future. It wouldn't make it difficult.
Or the
He
light
tears
coming out
open
of
his
his
shirt
mouth.
like Superman revealing the S, and it's just this big floodlight coming out.
Soong went to
Iron
the
Man.
making him an emergency flotation device. They couldn't put a light on him somewhere.
Nope. There's a bunch of lights in his skull. Could they remove the outer casing and get a little bit of light if they need it?
The difference is, like, humans can float in an emergency, but they can't turn into
That's a good
flashlights.
door opening for manual operation.
Hold on a second. We're in Nemesis. No, it's Insurrection where he turns into a flotation device.
Yes.
But in
Yeah.
Descent, he's Geordi and him are talking about the time when he sank to the bottom of a thing and he had to walk 1.5 kilometers in the bottom of a lake.
Yeah, he was retrofitted after that.
Mm,
Maybe it was a methane
They
lake
also
or
also
something.
just
You don't know.
decided to do that.
Are you saying there were canon violations in my Star Trek?
It's funny when you watch like season 1 and 2 of TNG how ridiculous it is compared with the later and earlier canon.
Season 1 of TNG, there are two main things that make it really weird for me. One, Data feels like he's going to murder everyone on the ship at all times. He just looks evil.
I don't get that from him.
That's what I
Well,
get
he
from
looks
him.
different, but I don't know. He's Data.
He also gets that line in episode 1 about, I am superior, sir, in every way.
He was definitely creepy in Farpoint. But
And there's
after
also
Farpoint,
the fact that season
Data.
1 TNG is weirdly militaristic.
Is it?
Is it?
The way people talk to each other and the way they walk down the corridors, even, it's just everything is. It's very rigid
I've
and
not noticed any of
formal.
that.
It is
I mean,
crazy
you
how
would
much
expect
effort they
that
put into
with a
these
bunch of
episodes.
officers on a new starship together. They're going to act very formally together.
Look
And
at
it's also
Troy's
the,
hair everywhere.
it's the first
It's
like
okay.
actual episodes after TOS,
That
which is
upsets me
quite like that.
deeply.
Though.
Based on
It
the
is a-
size of Troy's wig, that's probably how much hair she loses just on a normal day in the shower. I don't think that's a big deal. She has a lot of hair.
Mm.
Is that Wesley?
No.
No.
Wesley's in the next
I
episode,
wish.
though.
I wish it was. God.
Don't worry, Wesley will get his final episode soon. Nah, he's fine. Take him to
Do you think
sick bay.
Riker done it? Riker gave him the bonk.
He got.
How much of the
he
crew
got
did they
cloned.
lose during this?
How many
A lot
crew
of
did we
effort has been
lose?
put
How
into
come
these
the lights are
episodes.
flickering?
Worf
Did
is just
Worf-
loose hunting the crew.
Did Worf spray acid on the reactors? Why are the lights down?
Someone press the lights button.
How many do they normally have?
How? Slightly more, I guess. 1012.
I think it's like, what is it, like 1038, 1080, somewhere in there?
Did
How
he not say
come-
1100?
How are the internal sensors working, but the lights aren't?
I think he said
Because-
1011.
Yeah.
It creates more drama if the lights aren't working. Okay.
The entire power transfer grid has been destroyed, but the internal
So
sensors
that
still
is
work
the
perfectly.
worst flashlight ever.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just
Yeah.
means you can't transfer power now, but the power going to each systems is static. You have a man of fish.
So Spot
and
turns
you'll eat for a
into
day.
an iguana. What happens to Mr. Livingston here?
Well,
Teach a man
maybe
to
we can
fish.
see when Riker turns around. Is he still in there?
His return
Where
to
is
monkey.
Livingston? I don't see him yet.
Turns into a jellyfish.
Oh, Jesus.
Literal
Yeah, they
return
actually
to
changed
monkey.
Livingston. That's some good detail. So even if you regrow his brain to the proper size, most of it's still missing, right? He doesn't have the memories. How's
He's
this going
become
to
a
work?
smooth brain. His wrinkles have gotten very shallow.
Well, and at least he's still humanoid. I'd like to point out that jellyfish are really hard to keep in an aquarium.
Yeah.
He looks Klingon.
So that was
They get stuck in
Those-
corners and stuff.
quite the endeavor for a little detail.
He only needs to be in the aquarium for all of 3 minutes.
Is it de-evolving or devolving?
Well, given that de-evolving isn't a thing
unevolving.
anyway, I don't think it matters.
Star Trek does not understand
Didn't
evolution.
they call it in
Every
Super
episode
Mario
means
Brothers?
something completely different, and it makes no sense.
I think Super Mario Brothers says de-evolve.
But yes, Technobabble is coming that will prove you wrong.
According to Star Trek, evolution
Jordy's
has a
fault.
set, defined path that we're all working toward,
Yeah.
which happens to be salamanders, but we don't have to talk about that. It's
Yeah.
I'm
always
pretty sure it's supposed to be Q. But
well,
I
it
don't
goes
No, it's
humans,
salamanders.
humans, birds, salamanders. Then the salamanders turn into Q.
I think so.
That must be the offspring between Tom
Are
and
they ever
Janeway.
going
That's
to?
a Q.
Explore what the heck this convergent evolution thing is, and
No, it's just never mentioned again.
Like, it was such a big deal, like in earlier Star Treks, and then it's just completely dropped. And it's so weird.
I think it's because none of the powers that, like, none of the people that came together really cared to publish it or anything like that. They were all just kind of trying to find a weapon out of it, and there was no weapon. It was just hologram.
Was Caveman Riker Jonathan Frakes? That looks like Jonathan Frakes to me. Looked like. I think that was Jonathan.
How does eyes?
At what point can you just put makeup on the stunt double and they look close enough?
They did have to throw him back onto a couch, so I guess that's a stunt. I don't know if we have any way to check that. Unless we call Jonathan. I don't have him on speed dial.
Will he turn into monkey like Riker?
Yes.
Well,
he
the
becomes
most
lemur.
important thing on his devolution is that he's French. What would a French man turn into? Does he turn into a snail?
A frog.
He becomes frog.
Yeah.
Or would he turn into something stereotypically British? Because
no, he becomes lemur. Remember?
What do you mean? Remember? I don't think he actually de-evolves in this episode.
He starts becoming like small monkey.
Pygmy marmoset, I think.
Yeah. So the Enterprise is a lost cause, right? Destroy it, get another one? It seems like most of the internal systems
Data should just walk away from this. Like, just... I'm getting an escape pod, sorry.
Leave a bomb on the warp core and just leave.
Repertoire's been infected.
Yeah, so?
Yeah.
Leave
I'm not saying
there.
take Picard with
Ryan,
him. I'm saying leave him behind.
Vent the ship. Vent the ship. Hose it out. Fix
my concern is that the introns or whatever would be lurking around.
You just transport.
No matter how well you clean it, it's a quarantine risk.
It's an iguana, right?
Yes.
No, they know how to quarantine that. It's just because like stuff's happened. You know.
There's Spot, and in particular, that iguana is the same iguana we see in Voyager.
Oh, what's it called again?
The actor iguana?
No, the iguana. It's got a name.
Oh, in Voyager, it's called Leonard. I think.
Deactivate iguana program.
How dare you? I'm a doctor, not a zookeeper. So how come the kittens aren't iguanas?
Because science.
Into a reptilian life form. You can say iguana.
Iguana?
Wait, so the kittens aren't infected, but I thought it was airborne.
No, listen to the technobabble.
But they're not in the womb anymore. Picard was infected as soon as he stepped on board. He wasn't in a placenta at the time. Dr. Ogawa. Oh, right, Nurse Ogawa. Excuse me. I'm still on Parallels Doctor. Not a doctor. I don't know if you want to use...
The ship feels awfully fast, doesn't it? When no one's doing anything.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to use Nurse Ogawa's, DNA, because I don't think you can trust it. It's been changed by the virus.
No, they want to use the fetus.
Okay. I'm not convinced.
It is a real thing that is like possible in science. It's happened quite a few times where people have been pregnant and created antibodies for diseases just naturally.
I'm just concerned
Apparently it
about
was
using
into
an
science at this
infected
point.
person as a cure.
That's how you get cures.
Ooh, where is he? There he is. Oh, that's some good makeup, Brock. Now can we shoot broccoli? Why did he de-evolve into a spider? I don't think the evolutionary history works out like that.
Well,
Don't think too hard on it.
you know how bananas share 70% of their DNA with us? I'm sure there's a certain extent of spider DNA in humans.
Yes,
I mean,
but the
I'm
whole
sure we
issue,
do.
the whole issue here is that it's traces from our past ancestry, which
Like,
spiders
I
are not
don't-
parts of.
I don't doubt that humans and spiders share a lot of DNA, but humans didn't evolve from spiders.
Yeah,
No,
it was
It's not a
specifically.
bit of our
this thing just
lineage.
kind of randomly picks a thing and goes
Yes,
with
but
it.
the issue that we're bringing up is that it specifically stated that it's behaviors from the past, which would mean that they'd have to be a direct ancestor.
Like I said, Star Trek does not understand evolution.
No.
Yes.
Also, no, I
Well, you
doubt
see-
Tracy devolved into a banana for the same reason. What would Tracy have devolved into, though?
Maybe
Tracy.
maybe
I
what
bet
they're
Tracy's
what
immune.
they're maybe what they're trying to say is that if you have social anxiety, you have more spider in you than most people.
And
It is
things that are
large.
hard have wood, and they can also contain fire if they're able to be burned.
Exactly.
Yeah, and when you fart, that's just the air escaping. Wait,
Okay.
So, I mean, exoskeleton or
Love how
not,
this
he's just
door,
an
this section of
animal.
the
You can
door-
shoot him with a gun.
this section of the door is replaced with aluminum foil, and they're just like pushing on it from the other side.
I guess. I don't think there's any
mean-
animal that's immune to gun.
You know what they need? They need one of those rifles that shoots through walls.
Elephant is immune to lots of gun.
What's immune to lots of gun?
Elephants. You need a pretty
No, that's why
big
we
gun
made
to
the
kill an
elephant gun.
elephant.
Yeah, elephants can be taken down with a single shot.
It's not immune to gun. It's just there's a lot of elephant to go around. It takes a few.
It's immune to
We
regular
can
gun,
shoot
but
warp
it's not
several
immune
times.
to big gun.
I think the point is that they can't stun him. They can only kill him, and they don't
That's
want
fine.
to kill him.
Well, we should kill him. He's a threat to the crew.
Oh,
And he acided.
yeah.
What's the if you verb acid? What's the
Crusher?
past tense? He acided, acetified Dr. Crusher.
Well, if this is Venom Sac, he envenomed her, but that's usually when you inject venom. So how spraying venom? I don't know.
So he bit Troy. He spit acid at Dr. Crusher. He's actively trying to kill you. How about we just shoot him with a gun? I don't think prehistoric Worf is still going to feel that way. Considering she's also a fish lady.
I mean, he is banging on the door, so I disagree.
You know, there's a good way we could stop him banging on the door.
He smells a tasty Picard inside.
Use gun on man.
Well, soon he's going to be smelling cold iron. Or hot,
Well,
energized particles in a stream.
hot
Just shoot him.
particles.
Get a Varon T disruptor and see what happens.
So
Could be
you're
very
gonna
effective.
use your hot stream on man, huh?
Yes, exactly. That, I mean, there's nothing actually wrong with that phrase, but the phrase needs to be stronger than Deanna's own scent feels weird.
I mean, she's a fish lady now. Is that not weird?
It's weird in a different way.
Amphibian.
1994 weird.
Is she like an axolotl?
Is that going to
No,
be like
that's-
the
that's a
politically
future
correct
stage
way?
of
Like
evolution.
you
That's
call
not
her
the
an
past.
amphibian and not a fish.
Why did you just spray a little bit into the air? What was that? Oh, never mind. Never mind. That makes sense. It's pheromones.
It's the pheromones.
I was thinking he was like doing the thing where you cock
And
a
it
gun before you
remotely-
inject, before you shoot someone. Like he was going to inject Worf, and he just made sure.
So why don't they use the shuttle's transporters to just transport a pheromone canister far away from them, or keep transporting little bits of pheromones on a breadcrumb trail away from them, so he doesn't have to do it himself?
Don't know.
Because that wouldn't create any tension.
How come instead of the pheromones we used a gun?
Or better yet, use the shuttle's transporters to transport Worf into a secure location.
Into space, yes.
Yeah.
Space
No,
is very
that's a
secure.
secure location. Do you think it's Michael Dorn in that getup? Or do you think they got like the Big Show or something?
Well, I can't see his face, so
Let's check IMDb.
I know you can
Time to
find
use
pictures of
newfound
the
monkey
of the
powers.
costume in full lighting. Does Worf now see Captain Picard as his mate with the pheromones?
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, there is a picture of it in full lighting.
He sees him as a snack.
What's with the white spikes on his arm?
Don't worry about it. He's
It is
like an
Michael
onion
Dorn
or a potato.
inside of that.
Leave him out in the sun.
If that's how
and they grow
Klingons
little white
looked
hands.
in Discovery, if that's how Klingons looked in Discovery, I'd be okay with it. Like those cranial ridges and spikes, that'd be pretty sweet.
Okay, so Captain Picard
And the
just loses
mandibles?
his arm here, surely.
That's what it would seem like.
Unless he was peeing on him. Like marking territory or something, I don't know.
I like how casual Data looks here. He's leaning on the console. He's chill. Now, Picard, he's trying to kill you and he shot venom at you. What if we used a gun?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's that thing Barkley was working on. But what would you have done if the power was out there? Like it is on most of the ship. I imagine that probably kills Worf.
Yeah, if that could stun him, but the phaser couldn't, then what's the deal?
That's much stronger. They also weren't sure at it.
If not, you could shoot him. God, I can't believe nobody shot anyone in this episode. What was the point?
Yeah.
Is someone gonna... I think they're shooting in the next episode.
How dare they think their way out of all of this?
No pineapple on pizza? What?
It was a strictly dialogue and puzzle adventure this time.
But this was the perfect time to use a gun. De-evolve officially. According to Star Trek, it's de-evolve. Doctor, you know he hates this. Why would you... Why are you trolling him like this? That's some good reconstructive surgery for the doctor, though.
Yeah.
I
See,
mean,
that's what I'm saying is like, Germal regeneration in the future is going to be like super great. So, if you don't want to have scars, you won't have scars.
Remember the facial work that they can do. They've already turned Picard into a Romulan.
Yeah. Well, that's mostly
Is
just
it-
color and some eyebrow ridges. I think we might be able to turn someone into a Romulan today. I think that might be possible. Maybe we could even do it in the 90s.
What?
Anyway, the next episode, where I'm going to do some defending of Nechayev, is Journey's End. Journey's End. 1 minute to that. 1 minute starting now. It's just that people get on Nechayev's case about how she's a bad Merle, how she's evil, but she's not evil. She's just doing her job.
We'll see.
They have this whole thing about, oh, how dare Nechayev order him to do such an evil thing. It was like she already objected and tried to convince the other admirals in the council that it was a bad thing to do, but they're like, nope, you gotta do it.
So she was just following orders? Is
She's
that what you're
just
saying?
following orders, yes.
I see.
It hasn't been used to justify nearly enough tragedies in our history. Her actions are appropriate for the circumstances.
So let's say you wanted to.
If you have, well, hang on, hold that thought. We're about to count down. Everybody, get ready to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Okay.
If you wanted to disregard this order, you'd have to get the support of like virtually all the other admirals, because I'm sure, if you told Starfleet, yeah, I'm not doing that, they're gonna be like, okay, well
We'll
then
send someone else.
You're relieved of command. You're taking a vacation, and
hey,
we're sending
Wesley.
another admiral.
Hey,
You could
Just
they'll
be
just- they'll
Picard
just-
and just ignore Starfleet.
So here's the
They'll
thing.
just cycle through the
If you,
admirals until
if
someone
you hate
does
on
it, right?
Nechayev for her orders in this episode, you also have to hate on Picard, because he does the same thing. Where he raises an objection, he's overruled, and he has to follow through.
Wait, what are the bars that he's not on his...
Well, he's not an
Troller.
ensign. I don't... Or is he?
He's
It's
just
it's like a
Cadet. Those are cadet.
yeah. It's like a
right?
commander level cadet.
Maybe it's
like
one,
how many years you've been in Starfleet
yeah,
Academy.
1
Yeah,
bar
I
is
think it's-
freshman, 2
might
bars is
be-
sophomore.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I get it. I don't know if
It wasn't
want
funny,
Wes's help.
but I get it.
What could Wes even help with? They're not doing anything. Basic maintenance on the ship. Vacation. Ooh. After... I'm almost on vacation. All I have to do for the next week. I'm off work. All the videos are done. All I have to do is these streams. And then I can sit by and do nothing like Mr. Wesley Crusher. Except I probably won't go on some weird spiritual journey. That's
Are you
not
going on
currently
a
in my
journey
itinerary.
of a
Actually, you get a holiday, of course, but I am working.
No uni holiday is a holiday, though. That's a secret. Like, everyone thinks you're on holiday, but you're actually just doing the work the entire time.
What do you mean?
What?
Oh, okay. I understood.
Okay.
There's no work over the summer holidays.
Right? Yep, I get it. Wink. 5 stars. No work at all. Starship.
So, are you going somewhere nice for your vacation?
Yeah, I was planning to go to Scandinavia. In Skyrim.
VR special edition, anniversary edition.
Oh no.
Well, not the anniversary edition yet. That's not out. Though
So-
I started playing a little bit of Skyrim in my free time, and then they announced the anniversary edition like 2 days later. It's like, well, I'm already into it. I'm not going to stop and wait 3 months, or I'm just going to lose interest.
I
No,
kind of
I'm-
wish that they had
doing a
VR
destruction.
headset that could
Destruction mage.
interface directly with your optic nerve.
Skyrim VR, I mean, I've tried it, but it's very uncomfortable to play.
What
It
were
was
the
never
troubles
designed
you had?
around VR.
The resolution, everything's kind of ugly. It's really low res.
I mean,
Maybe it'd be better
low
in a
res is
better
maybe not.
headset, like a Valve Index.
Low res is maybe not par for the course for Skyrim, but ugly definitely is. Those people are hideous.
Ooh, Earl Grey. Wait, did that video come out? The Earl Grey compilation?
Yes, it did.
Okay, good.
But my mom likes to be silly. I think we all do.
I don't remember which ones are next week's and which ones were this week's. I don't know. Yes, we have to follow her orders. Just like Nechayev has to follow the orders of the council. Nechayev can't go, I realize the council's made a decision, but based on the fact that it's a stupid decision, I've decided to ignore it. She can't do that. She has a job to do.
He has that weird tea set out.
Yes. That's
the nesting mugs.
That's
set.
supposed to be special with Dr. Crusher. Can't bring it out for Nechayev.
You know, it'd be neat is if they started having a thing. That'd be cool. They should have a whole subplot in
and him
season
or
8.
Nechayev?
Nechayev and Picard.
I mean, she's nice
What a power
enough
couple that would be.
given the opportunity to be nice.
She's
She's
not
just
particularly
busy.
mean. She's just
Very senior
She's-
staff like that because they tend to be good politicians, if you know what I mean.
it's obvious. It's obvious how she got to be an admiral. She's
Competent.
Yeah, she comes
does her
across
job.
as
She's got 4
competent, tough
stars
as
on
nails.
her thing. That's how she's an admiral. Well, no, it's 3 stars. It's just in a box.
yes. So if you had 4 stars in a box, I think that's like fleet admiral. So like that's the grade of admiral. You know.
So you
They
just
did
become
say she was
Q when you
fleet
get more
admiral.
stars.
They said she was Fleet Admiral Nechayev, and she only has 3 in the box.
Let me see. What
And 3
the,
in the box is worth 2 in the bush, or something.
All right, so one in a box is rear admiral lower half. 2 in a box is rear admiral upper half. 3 in a box is vice admiral. 4 in a box is admiral. 5 in a box is fleet admiral. So
Then why did
So
they
she's
call
a
her
Vice
Fleet
Admiral,
Admiral?
Nechayev.
well, okay, so
A piece
either
that
they
doesn't last very long in Deep Space Nine.
Nope.
worked out the ranks later after they filmed this, or they just didn't have one available. And they used what they had, or
Fleet Admiral is
Whatever.
supposed to be like a temporary rank as well, isn't it? Like on wartime.
now this one is saying that 1 pip in a box is a commodore.
All right, now
I
we
don't
get
know
our
they
Picard
still
speech
make
about
Commodore.
how we have to do the good and moral thing. And people are going to be upset that Nechayev overrules him. It's like, nope, I don't care what the past is, you have to do it. Then Nechayev, very importantly, come on, Picard, hurry up with your speech. Let Nechayev do her spiel. No, that's not the part I'm talking about, Nechayev. You're not helping my case here, Nechayev. Could they just hand the colony over to the Cardassians and let them stay there?
Oh, could they?
That'd be ideal. That'd be ideal.
Because, I mean, they did that with every other colony. Why don't these... There we go. I made the same argument with the
spoiler alert,
Federation
that's-
Council, and they rejected the argument.
Spoiler
Nechayev
alert,
made
that's
the same
exactly
argument
what
that Picard
happens at
did.
the end.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So I always wondered what happened to these folks during the Dominion War.
They died.
Maybe,
Right.
or maybe they became valued members of the Dominion.
I don't know if
Right.
this is
I mean,
true. Maybe someone
The
can
founders
verify.
would have to go out of their way to exterminate them. Like maybe they just didn't care. They're just
I
like whatever.
heard
It's
that it's
200. It's
supposed to be
200
canon
settlers on a planet.
that Chakotay came from this tribe. Is that true?
No.
And that's
I
why he
don't think
joined the
so.
Maquis, because he was left on the other side of the zone.
Possible.
It also calls into question as to what the conditions are actually like on Earth. These people have left 200 years ago, and even only 20 years ago, this was a better option than living in North America.
Yeah.
I think they
I
just
think at
wanted
some
to
point-
find a place of their own that they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just Native American
At some point, they
weebs,
realized
like, you
Earth
know,
was
the
actually
Scottish
great
planet.
now.
Full of Scottish weebs. Same thing.
They realized Earth was actually great now,
and
but they
that's
were
true.
gone so long it was a point of pride, and they're like, nope, we can't go back. We're going to have to... We just have to keep going. We can't go back.
Take a look at... What is that?
It's a microfusion relay.
Wow.
The best
Wesley,
kind of
what a-
relay.
Butthead.
Cochranes. Kevin, if you could set a mute real quick if you're crinkling some bags, that would be ideal.
Oh, you know what?
No,
Actually,
it's
I'm
just
running
second.
Discord audio through OBS broadcast, and I didn't hear any crinkling.
I was checking some receipt. Everything's good.
Sorry, NVIDIA broadcast, I meant to say.
I was checking some receipt. Everything's good.
I have noise being suppressed going to the stream, but I still hear the noise. So people
Oh, well,
in
you just
YouTube
switch
probably
your
didn't hear
switch your
anything. Nah,
switch
it's
your
fine.
output in Discord to
No.
an NVIDIA broadcast. But it's just good. It's better.
Okay, none of these people are fake. I'm trying to find the fake Native American. It's not them. They're fine. Now, I'm aware that sounds weird, but it'll make sense in 30 minutes.
I know where the episode goes. It's just not a particularly good way to phrase that.
No, that was intentional. I want it to be a terrible phrasing.
Okay.
I want it to sound terrible, and then in 30 minutes, people go, oh, that's what he meant.
He's not in this scene.
No, he's not here. I don't know when he shows up.
You're dismissed, Wesley.
What are
He
those
shows up
windows?
later. He has Wesley follow him into a dark, secluded room, and he gets Wesley all high. And
Yeah, yes, it's weird. Don't worry.
then he has visions.
Those windows, are those glass with a design on them, or are those grates?
Those are grates.
What's the point? What is that keeping out? I guess it's decorative.
It's decorative.
It's not going to keep out a bear. You're on Dorvan 2.
They're bears.
There might be bears. A Dorvan bear.
Maybe it's a traditional window dressing from their tribe.
Maybe there's a bear.
It's a bear that wants your food, thinks you're mean for not sharing.
Yeah. Honestly, knowing what we know about Star Trek, if you were invited to the Enterprise, would you even want to go? You're just going to have to sit in a string quartet for an hour. Then have to sit around in 10 forward talking to people, having casual conversation.
I can't talk about lunatics.
Wait, one of those people plays Chakotay's grandfather? Is that true? I don't know what Chakotay's grandfather looks like.
That's possible. They're
Ned
like
Romero. Yes.
they like to reuse actors.
Yeah, that's straight up Chakotay's grandfather.
God, I thought Wesley was improving as a character. This episode we were in 7.
Yeah, no, he hasn't improved at all.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
just
that's
seems
an
like he's
excellent
being
plan.
a teenager in this episode.
They don't tell them that it's an evacuation. They just say, "Hey, we'd like you to come up the whole colony for a concert," and they just fly away.
Yes,
everyone's
that is a
cleaned up.
good plan. But the thing is that Deep Space Nine makes this entire episode pointless.
So yeah, that guy's straight up Chakotay's grandfather. So that's how we know that Chakotay came from this planet. Or moved to this planet.
But yeah, it is a bit annoying that Deep Space Nine makes this pointless because they end up in a full-on war anyway.
No, you gotta try. You don't know what's gonna happen in the future. Do it the best with what you got.
True.
Right, you don't know what's going to happen in the future, so.
Wait,
Gotta
his
do what you can
grandson?
now.
That's true. I just made it all in vain, and they displaced these people in vain.
Are they displaced in the end, or do they let them stay?
I don't know.
I think they let them stay.
Exactly what you suggested. They hand the planet over to the Cardassians, and the Cardassians let them stay there, and they're no longer Federation citizens.
And they're
renounced their
absolutely
Federation
not
citizenship.
persecuted by the Cardassians. Why would you think such a thing?
Well, I'm pretty sure after a few years underneath tender Cardassian rule, they all see 5 lights.
There are 5 nights.
Seriously, is this the kind of party you want to be invited to on the Enterprise? Is this what you have to look forward to? You know what we should have? At some point, they should invite a group onto the Enterprise, and they, like, have a Halo 2 LAN party. Just literally anything other than standing around in 10 forwarder with a string quartet.
Why even have a game? Just give them all phasers set to the lowest setting and just run around the hallways and
Just laser tag with real guns.
laser tag, except with phasers. Yeah.
Oh,
So is there a
I think
reason
this
yet
is a
as to
fake
why
Native
he's
American.
angry
Look at
this
that
way?
camera angle. He's about
Is
to
there
show
a
up
reason
behind
why
Wesley. Yes.
Wesley is being more of a brat than usual? Is that the question?
Yeah, what's the reason for it?
He's frustrated because he doesn't know his place in the universe anymore. He's unsure.
So that guy is a fake. He's a phony.
So wait, he's telling him about his
Slam
vision
even?
that he had, and it's total baloney. It's just complete. That never happened.
To clarify, the actor isn't a phony, the character's a phony. Well, I guess technically the actor is a phony because he's acting. He does phony for a living. That's his whole job. In the same
Riker's
sense that
just
Patrick
chilling
Stewart
behind
is a
him.
phony. He's a professional phony.
So there was an abandoned subplot that Wesley was actually secretly Picard's son. That would have
No,
been
thank you.
interesting.
That would have been gross.
But gross?
Yeah, it would taint Picard's character.
Because that means Picard was a homewrecker.
Picard. Hold on a second. Picard, he grew as an individual. Remember Tapestry? Come on. Could you not see pre-Tapestry Picard? You know,
Being a homewrecker?
in a drunken little,
We're not talking
mistake,
about
little passionate.
we're not talking
tryst.
about Ensign Picard as a bashful youth. We're talking about Captain Picard, just on a previous ship. He was a captain at the time.
No,
No.
Nobody's perfect.
He'd
You'd make
been
him
a
more
captain.
human instead of a paragon of Starfleet.
He was a captain at the time, and then he
virtues.
sent the man whose home he wrecked to his death.
Yeah, and he would have been a captain of the Stargazer for about a decade at that point.
A decade?
How did he wreck his
Well,
home?
that's what a convenient way to get rid of a romantic rival. I had to have an extremely dangerous mission. I'm going to send you on it. And meanwhile, me and your wife are going to, I'm just going to watch over her, take care of her. Yeah. Make sure she's not lonely or anything. Oh no, my best friend and your husband died in a horrible mission that I sent him on. Whatever shall we do?
So this guy's just straight up lying. I don't think the Habak exists on this planet. What is sacred to Wesley? Captain Picard himself?
What's sacred to Wesley? Ugly sweaters.
I hear the best time to wear a striped sweater is all the time.
Flaps. Flaps are sacred to Wesley.
Oh god, the flaps.
Him and
all the flaps were so bad.
Bill Cosby go to the same tailor.
Why do you gotta be so dramatic about it?
Sacred is an ancient Native American term for extremely annoying.
Dirt? He's not talking about sand. I see. Ryan, you're the absolute worst. You're complete trash. You don't even make good videos. People make so much better content. What's even the point of you? Absolute trash. There, I have desecrated a holy artifact. Or some such.
Jeez, the audio there was a bit iffy, I think.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I don't know what was up with that. I guess maybe it was dubbed over for some reason. What are you going to do about it if they say no? What are you going to just transport them up to the Enterprise? What are you going to do?
Transport them onto a secret holographic ship and transport them to another planet and resettle them without their knowledge?
Yeah.
Oh, that would just be crazy. Who would ever do that?
See, this is why you
Picard
can't get
twice?
on Admiral Dechayev's case too hard, because Picard is doing the same thing. He doesn't want to do it, but he has to do it.
And there's just
He says he doesn't want to do it, but I don't know.
No, look, man. The reason Captain Picard was sent is because he has a big enough ship to fit you. That's the only reason. Don't make it all fancy.
Well, he was the only ship in range.
Ah, of course.
The closest ship. So, wait a second. Usually the Enterprise is kind of near the neutral zone, but now he's on the other side of the quadrant near the Cardassian DMZ. So, why are they here? How did they get here? Doesn't that take like weeks and weeks and weeks?
Why does Counselor Troy know about the Pueblo revolts? From her perspective, 800 years ago. Why does she know about this?
Starfleet history courses are very comprehensive, especially about Earth history.
Federation schools are like American schools. You only learn about one culture's history. Yes, thank you, Picard. When did these people leave? So they left in the 2100s? Is that right? They were gone for 200 years.
Yeah, they said 200 years.
What was happening in 2100? That was pre-Enterprise, wasn't it?
Well,
First
2160s? That would be around the founding of the Federation, the Romulan War.
Okay. So about the time of Enterprise.
Cardassians have shown up.
These guys traveled here in a Warp 3 ship because it was the best thing that was available.
The Cardassians arrived in their Bentley.
Ooh, it's Golovec.
That looks like Chakotay's father.
Golovec? Golovec doesn't look
Kim
anything
and
like
Kylie
Chakotay's.
are in tow.
So Golovec shows up a lot in DS9. He deals with the Maquis and the DMZ. He's pretty cool. Golovec's
He
all
also
right.
like the third in command when Damar's like doing the rebel thing. I think that's the same guy.
I don't think he's in the rebellion. I don't remember him being in a rebel. Let me look up Golovec. Oh, he was also in Voyager episode 1. No, his last DS9 episode is Tribunal, which is long, long before the thing.
Star Trek Voyager episode 1. Which season?
Of season 1.
Oh, season 1. Okay.
Season 1, minute 1 of episode 1.
Yeah, he's the guy that's chasing
I
the
don't remember
Maquis.
seeing it. I mean, I've seen season 1, episode 1, but
He's the one that chases.
I don't remember seeing him there.
He chases Chakotay into the Badlands.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense that he would be the one here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nice to see him in full HD.
Makes sense to me too.
Does this guy have a campfire in his attic? Wait, that thing on the left. I was about to make a joke about it being a little Klingon face, but no, it is unironically a little Klingon face.
So,
Why does he have
wait a
Klingon
second.
tech?
To them, other sentient races can be spirit animals.
I don't
Not
think that's what
necessarily
he
spirit
said.
animals.
Soma, what are you doing? Are you cleaning your microphone?
Are you playing with your microphone? Are you playing with your microphone? Soma.
I was rubbing the mic a bit.
Why?
Soma, are you alive?
Cheers. Yes, I'm here. Ryan heard me.
Okay. Yeah, why?
Because.
Go on, explain yourself.
We wish to hear from you.
It's just making sure it's cleanish.
Cleanish. All right.
We're all friends here with a YouTube channel recording.
Yeah. I
That's
really want to
wonderful.
know what Picard's plan
Everything's
is for
great.
removing these people by force.
I like Nechev is just like, do your job and don't bother me again. This is so uncomfortable for me. I could
Again, Necheyev's
I
like,
couldn't get out of it either, Picard. Shit rolls downhill. You're up.
Necheyev, Picard's like, oh no, I have a plan. We could do something to help these people. We could maybe leave them. It's like, Necheyev's like, no, I already thought of that. I already tried it. It didn't work. Do your job. You could talk to Golovec, I guess, but you just have to do things without asking Starfleet. Don't ask the admirals. Don't ask the council. Just do something and then fly back. It's like, well, it's too late now. Too late to go back. Like, make a deal with Golovec to leave them there. Maybe set up an embassy. What preparations? What are you going to do? What is the plan?
I assume beam them up and keep them in.
Keep them in the cargo bay?
Unseen. Yeah, something like that.
That's, Are we sure we want to be doing this in the attic? Are we sure?
I'm sure.
What is that? Is that a goblin? Oh no, that's your dead dad. Except maybe not your dad. What does that mean? I feel like none of this is actually happening. It's just a manipulation.
Yeah.
I don't think this is real.
He's in a godlike
Manipulation.
state, so he could be having very hypnotic suggestions by the lead guy.
The traveler, who we're gonna see in a bit, his whole thing was that he can, he works with thought somehow by space magic. I would be willing to bet he's just
He can
manipulating
manipulate warp
Wesley's thoughts
fields
to
with
get what
his
he wants.
mind.
Yeah, this looks like pure manipulation.
It's just yes.
Leave your job. Come into my van, Wesley.
We have free warp theory. Free warp theory. Come and get it.
Free warp theory? That's my favorite kind of theory.
What did Water Cells try to do again?
I
What does
didn't
what do
get
again?
it. Make preparations
What was-
without alarming people
Yeah.
in some way.
Did
Yeah.
you say warp? Did you say warp theory?
Warp.
Yeah, it's
theory.
warp theory.
I don't have any
Oh,
warp
warp
theories
theory.
right now.
That's what I thought I heard. Okay, instead of warp theory, warp theory.
I do like warp theories. Hey Wesley, do you want a court martial?
Oh yeah, they're good.
Can you court martial a cadet?
Why not?
Probably.
What are you gonna do about it? You
Okay,
can't
so if
stop
he-
a transporter.
If he quits,
Yeah, now they're
If he
grumpy.
quits
You can
Starfleet-
still transport grumpy people.
if he quits Starfleet now, would he still be allowed to transport to the surface, or could they say like, no, you as a civilian you can't go there right now because of the situation?
I think
Fair question.
that's a moot point
I was
because
allowed down
Wesley
there to
should be
begin
in the
with.
brig. And people in the brig can't transport anywhere. Well, you see, sir, I had taken some drugs. And I hallucinated a bit. Well, it doesn't predate Starfleet. That's going to get retconned. It might predate the Federation. Unless he's talking about when they were still on Earth before they left.
Picard did get pretty preachy to Crusher before. He told him, and I quote, "The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth, whether it's a scientific truth, or historical truth, or personal truth." He might have listened.
The first duty of every Starfleet officer is not to be rude to your friends.
The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth.
Good job, Wes. Absolute worst. What's the point of you?
Actually, I kind of agree with him on this.
Look, just because it might be morally right doesn't mean it's right, you know? Jeez, Wes.
It's right and it's okay when Captain Picard says it's right and okay.
Exactly.
she's telling him that she doesn't want him to throw his entire life away, but like this is post-scarcity Earth. Like, you could literally just go back home and still be perfectly comfortable.
Well, no, it's
You
not
didn't just-
post-scarcity Earth. It's very much
You did
scarcity
not just have to wear
demilitarized
that
zone.
uniform.
But he can totally go back to Earth. There's nothing
won't.
stopping him from going back to Earth.
He wants to live down there. Yeah, no, that's totally emotional manipulation by the Traveler. You could at least finish your degree, Wes. You're only 1 year off.
Yeah.
Finish your degree, and then if you change your mind later, you have something to fall back on.
Yeah, you can change your mind later.
Maybe it's because everyone at the Academy hates you because you got someone killed and everyone knows it.
Maybe.
What was he supposed to say to you, Dr. Crusher?
Yeah, everyone hates you.
What's he gonna talk to his mom about that she can help with at the Academy? It's like, Mom, all the kids are being mean to me. What is she supposed to do? She's not gonna go there and have a stern talk with your professors. Wesley, your dad is dead. He didn't say anything.
Mom, everybody's mean to me.
In fact, Wesley, you had a hallucination of your dad telling you not to follow him, but you had an actual recording that he made telling you that he does want you to join Starfleet and wear the uniform.
No, he said maybe you'll even want to put on a uniform like this one day. He didn't like nudge him in that direction.
In any rate, he certainly wasn't opposed to it.
Well, no, I don't think any parent would be opposed to their kid going to Starfleet.
So from Wesley's point of view, what happened in the last, 4 years that made his dead dad change his mind? How's he supposed to be the Mozart of physics there in the demilitarized zone? I don't get the impression they have a college. So anyway, how about that weather? What is the weather currently like? It is currently
the Henry coming
hot
out
and humid, and I cut the grass, and I probably sweated like 6 pounds of water.
Okay. It is currently
then I
61
showered
degrees and
and
sunny here,
still-
2% chance of precipitation.
61 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 90 here and like 800% humidity.
It's 83 degrees here in Cleveland, Ohio.
You guys are still using Fahrenheit? What century is this?
Today is the Woodward Dream Cruise, and I'm here watching Star Trek.
Why is there even any threat to the Cardassians right now? Why do they have to send down troops? Couldn't they just beam their troops back up?
That was a
What's the
suggestion, but he doesn't want to run away.
But you could beam them up, and if you want to have a show of force, what you do is you beam your troops up, then you come back down armed and shoot everyone.
Why come down armed? Just beam down some stun grenades and stun everybody.
Well, it has to be personal. You need to look them in the eye when you shoot them.
No, it's more intimidating to just swat them like a fly, not even care.
Or go Cisco and poison the planet?
I'm not convinced of anything the Traveler's saying here. But if this is true, does that mean that Wesley is a wizard? Well, technically a sorcerer.
You're a wizard,
Yeah.
Wesley.
That was established in the Traveler episode.
How
Yeah,
is Wesley a
powers, Wesley.
sorcerer?
He has this.
I feel like the Traveler groomed Wesley here.
He did.
Yeah,
He 100%
Bro,
did.
we know you don't like Wesley, so can we leave that alone?
I don't really have an issue with Wesley conceptually. It's just that the Traveler's emotionally manipulating him into just being awful. He's not making sense.
Wesley's not happy with Starfleet. Like, and if we're tying up storylines, we may as well bring the Traveler back.
Wesley was pretty bad in season 1 when he was solving everything and he wasn't even in Starfleet.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
he got a lot better
Yeah.
pretty quick, so he was perfectly fine. And then in this episode, they make him awful again, where he's a space magic person.
Back in the day, it was probably about close to 10 years ago now. On StarTrek.com or CBS, you could stream all the Star Trek series for free. It was just there. It was just, they didn't care. And I was watching it with my ex, not my ex at the time, and she's like, I don't understand. Why don't they just listen to Wesley? He's always got the solution. Just listen to what he says. And I'm like, yeah, that's why nobody likes
wrong.
Wesley.
Nobody likes Wesley.
Oh no, I was going to the Fandango event where they were releasing the Blu-ray season by season, and every time they released a season, they had like 2 episodes at theaters. That's what I was doing.
Traveler has a strong resemblance to your chiropractor. Well, like chiropractors, the Traveler also has no real powers. No. The Traveler... Oh, Traveler has issues.
Yeah, chiropractors. Don't get me started on chiropractors. They almost didn't exist. But they took a case against the American Medical Association to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said the American Medical Association can't have a monopoly on medicine. So yeah, because the AMA issued like an edict that you can't be a medical doctor and refer people to chiropractors and acupuncturists and things like that. And
the medicines that don't work.
They sued. Yes.
Yeah.
Alternative medicine.
You can't send people to people who are committing fraud. Basically.
Yeah. My aunt, like, she swears up and down by chiropractors and acupuncturists. And one time I was like, "So what's the scientific evidence behind acupuncture?" And she's like, "Well, only 2,500 years of traditional Chinese medicine." And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, it causes trauma, which you get a dopamine release, which makes you feel better for a little bit, but
it really has a really good placebo effect is one explanation I've heard. Yeah,
But no matter how good the placebo is, it lasts a grand total of 3 days at most.
Point is, you should see a real doctor.
It gave me a headache, actually. I tried it once. It was weird.
Acupuncture?
Yeah, it was very weird. I mean, I assume it was psychosomatic because it was acupuncture, but it was still it was a very real headache.
I could see an explanation where, like, let's say you have some type of inflammation and you get acupuncture in that area, so then your body releases, like, different hormones and painkillers and things, and maybe it alleviates the symptoms for a bit, or it may even alleviate the symptoms long enough for you to heal. But, like, you're not manipulating chi, you're not.
Yeah.
I want the hard science behind it. I don't want the hocus pocus.
What say is that the effect is the same no matter where you put the needles. So there is a significant placebo effect, but it doesn't matter where they are. Yeah.
My uncle is big on just about anything that he thinks works, and he's gone to chiropractors for years. And one time when he was at a chiropractor, he was making an adjustment on his leg and tore a tendon in his knee.
Oh boy!
Oh, go to a real doctor.
Exactly.
Oh, no. I'm going to refer you to a surgeon because, I do this a lot, so I get a group rate there. I get kickbacks.
Well, I mean, there are also like neck adjustments that they can do that cause you to have a stroke.
or be paralyzed.
Yeah, that too.
So
my mom's been going to the chiropractor. Everything's been good for her.
It's entirely possible that he's not done anything extreme enough to hurt her, and it's also possible that the chiropractor is. There are chiropractors who are actually like basically physical therapists.
Yeah, I think I view it more like physical therapy or like super massage. You know, like it feels good or whatever, and if it gives you some relief, whatever. If that's how you want to spend your money, but
no, I mean she had like a special gun. She had like a massaging gun. It was good for her. So the chiropractor was really good for her.
The difference between
you can buy those
chiropractors
percussive
and
massage
physical
and stuff,
therapists
guns.
is the same as the difference between nutritionists and dietitians. Where dietitians are licensed and have medical knowledge, and nutritionists are just people who make
There's
claims.
actually like a contingent of chiropractors who prefer to get like a physical therapy degree alongside their chiropractic
Yeah, that'd be
degree.
fine. That's cool.
But like that's the only reason is because it makes them actually like more legitimate.
You know,
Well, you're
if
not,
I didn't
you,
have
anyone
so
can
much
just call
integrity,
themselves
I would
a chiropractor.
I would start a chiropractic practice because that seems like that would be super easy.
I mean, like, not only that, but like just in general, anything that people are willing to believe in, you can make a career out of it and actually unethically take all their money. Like, start a church.
Like the mega church by me, yeah.
Nutritionists are just wackos. Not necessarily. It's just that nutritionist is not a protected term like dietitian is, so anyone can call themselves a nutritionist. They don't have to have any qualifications.
And don't get me started on homeopathy.
They might have qualifications, but they don't have to have qualifications to call themselves that.
You don't like the implications that water remembers everything it was in contact with?
Water
and then we don't think about toilets?
And then it becomes more powerful the more diluted you make it, because
Is that convenient?
the most powerful homeopathic preparations are the equivalent of a grain of rice dissolved in water, a sphere of water the size of the solar system. So
Yeah.
There's your post-scarcity.
James Randi used to start off talks by overdosing on homeopathy.
Oh yeah, you can find videos of that online. Just look up James Randi homeopathy, where he just takes an entire packet of supposed sleep medicine, I think.
Yeah.
And it's like, I should be basically dead right now. This is supposed to be a fatal dose. It didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's just lactic acid capsules. There's nothing in it. I found my mother had something for arthritis as a homeopathic thing, and I was looking at it like, this is, she's like, don't touch that. I need that. I was like, it's just lactic acid beads. Just you can just stop buying this. It'd be great.
Well, the placebo effect is actually a decent thing, and it.
Well, then I can replace them with Tic Tacs, and it would cost less money.
True.
My only personal experience with homeopathic
more
medicine
placebos work better.
is one time a woman I know accidentally bought homeopathic cramp medicine, and they got it home. They went out and bought this stuff and brought it home, and it was only after they bought it and got there that it was, hang on, this is just water. What am I supposed to do with this? Because it wasn't at all clear. Homeopathic was in like tiny
dehydrated, so water might be a solution for it.
Dehydration is not the cause of period cramps, however. That's not.
Well, I mean, water is a solution,
but
no, that's not true. Water can be a solution. It can be a component of a solution.
Water is a universal
solution.
Most water is a solution, but water isn't necessarily a solution. Jeez. Water's just water.
But it's practically always a solution because it's going to come in contact with something that it will dissolve.
Yes, all tap water is a solution. All bottled water is a solution.
Oh,
Anyway.
Water makes you nice.
Nerd jokes.
It's
and it's you can say it's
83 degrees here in sunny.
Look, we're done with Star Trek for the day. What's tomorrow for DS9? DS9 Season 7. Let me look that up. For some reason, whenever I Google DS9 Season 7, it replaces the 7 with a 6. And that's really annoying. Okay.
Ryan,
And do you shout at it? There are 7 seasons.
Tomorrow, DS9 is The Emperor's New Cloak.
Yeah.
That's a Mirror Universe episode, the last Mirror Universe episode.
Thank God.
Field of Fire, where Esri almost murders a man with a gun. And Chimera, where Martok plays a shapeshifter again.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, chat.
7 shall be the number, not 6, not 8, but 7.
We're done here. Stream's over. Be gone. Go away.
Never. I'm gonna stay here